I'm going to show you how to create a simple perimeter on a haircut, how to create shorter layers in long hair, and how to connect the two together. And I'm getting started right now. So I'm going to start by wetting the hair down, and then I'm going to divide it into 4 sections. And that's going to make it easier for me to cut my perimeter on the haircut. Using the hook of the comb, I'm going to draw the hair towards the front and separate it. And then I'm going to draw the hook from the crown down to the back of the ear. Just using your comb to pull the hair into the palm of the hand. And just clip that out of the way. At the back, I'm just going to comb right down the middle and separate that. Carry on dividing into 4 sections. Okay, so with your front sections, what we're going to do is we're going to release about 1 inch inside the hairline and take all that hair down and pull it forwards. Same over here at the side, just pull that down and just clip the rest up out of the way just now. The same at the other side, about 1 inch. I need to cut a perimeter all the way around here, and I'm going to start right in the middle at the front. I want the hair to be quite long and fall to the side, this side or that side, and have my choice of what I want to do with it. So I'm going to use my comb and just pull down. You have 2 options here. You can either cut straight across your fingers at the bottom, underneath them, with the scissor. Or if you feel confident, you can use the razor, and you can add texture to your perimeter right at the start. If I pull my fingers right down to the very end there, and then work across that section with my razor, I'm cutting down to the top of my fingers here. That's a straight line. But what I've done is I've textured a straight line there. I'm going to do the perimeter with the razor, and then I'm going to switch to using scissors for the rest of the haircut. So again, I'm using this line that I made here, and I'm working my way across. So there we are, we have a textured perimeter at the front, and we need to follow this round to the sides now. You can see there's a short point here, and that's totally normal on the ear. It's always going to be shorter there, because remember that the arch of the ear grows up around there, and it's much higher. This hair is coming from a higher point than this hair on the sides. So if it's all grown out, then you're always going to have a short point here. Let's try and tie towards that short point, and then cut across here and tie in as well. Just angling the fingers down towards the back. This side again, you can see I've got a long point there, so I'm going to pull down and angle my fingers up towards the ear. So follow that perimeter all the way around. I've got my perimeter all cut here, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to establish a short point in the middle on the crown, and that's going to be the start of some layers that I'm going to create in the hair. The layers will cause the hair to kind of flick out like you see here. There's going to be short points at various lengths going down the head rather than it all being at the bottom. Right now, if I pick up some hair from the middle here and drop it down to the bottom, the first area of layers starts about there, and it works its way down from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this slightly shorter just here in the middle. So I'm going to pull this hair back and then lift up a section right here in the middle of the crown. And I can see that there's hair starting to fall away there, so I'm going to take about that much off. Just take a section to the side of that. So this whole crown area here, I'm just pulling it up, and I want it all to be the same length. And that way we can then start connecting the crown to the perimeter of the haircut. Okay, so I know that I have a short point in this area now. So if I comb all this out from there, what I can do now is I can cut this in segments. So I'm going to connect the short point here to the short point at the front, and everything else in between will come down to a similar length. Just pick up the hair in the middle here, and there was that short point there, which means I can take that hair, I'm going to continue forward in a straight line all the way towards the front. There's the short hair falling away at the front, so we just need to connect to that. And then pull all that forwards there. Okay, I'm going to come over this way a bit and aim in this direction and pick up another section. Just lifting it straight up. Short hair at this side of my fingers here. Okay, and just step to the side again, and let's lift all that up straight. There's short hair there, and that's from the layer in the middle and the crown. You can see I've already got short hair falling away there, so nothing really to take more than that. Just gonna make sure that I haven't missed anything here, so I'm gonna pick up this section. Yeah, I've come over too far, so trim that down. So that's the point of the crown down to the front and the point of the crown down to the ear covered. Let's go round to the back now. At the back, what I'm going to do is I'll just pull this hair down here. And I'm going to pull it out this time, okay? So rather than straight up, I'm going to pull it at 90 degrees out, like that. And there's a little short point there. I'm just going to pull this out as well. My short points here, there's a little bit of long hair there, so let's trim that down and just work down again, another step down, and then down one more step. There shouldn't be anything to come off here, nothing. Okay, I'm going to step over this way a little bit now and pull all this hair out. There's my short hair from my first layer, and I'm going to work to that. And as I work my way down, there shouldn't be much more to come off. At the bottom there should be nothing. So just stepping over a little bit, and going to continue round, just taking off the high point. So work my way around to the side and look for that long point again. There's not much on this side, so just pull all that down. So now we have a short point that's a little bit higher up than where it was at the start of this cut on the back. Okay, now this final quadrant at the front. So we're looking to connect the short point here on the fringe. There's that short point and the short point here as well. So let's just take off that long point right there. And then just go down the side. As an optional step, you could, if you want, use the razor again and go back and razor texture the hair. So just by picking it up and gripping the ends and just razoring the very ends of it. This just gives the hair a little bit more texture rather than just a blunt finish. I'm not intending to change the length of the hair or anything like that. I just want a little bit of texture on the ends. All you do is you just grip the razor with your thumb. This is a special razor which has a protective tooth on it, which allows you to grip it with your thumb, and I'll leave a link for that down below. So you can go around the whole head like that if you want. I'm going over the area that was layered, and I'm not going to go down to the bottom. I already created a little bit of texture on the perimeter anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this brief lesson on making a perimeter and connecting layers to it. I'll see you again in my next video.